시도하는 것 자체로 갇힌 것입니다. 약의 삽 바람과 함께
징벌의 빛 불타올라라! 지금이 정멸의 시간. 이깟 상처 따위 아프지?
바람이 마음을 알아주네. 바람을 타고 구름이 가도록 목숨을 소중히 여겨야죠.
도망칠 수 없다.
우리 집에 놀러와.
즉시 성급! 이 검을 알아보겠느냐?
수련이 부족한 건가?
분노의 바람! 놀아보자고! 고개를 숙여라!
지식을 너와 공유. 누룽지야.
제우 유호! 열어!
부족한 건가?
아니야! 바람질주! 젠장! 두고 보자! 따라오라! 비천한가! 젠장! 두고 보자! 후영감
자유롭게
무념 단전 징벌의 빛
바람과 함께
약을 먹어야지.
시도하는 것 자체로
도망칠 수 없다.
자유롭게
지금이 정멸의 시간. 고용 간파. 총 공격을 시작한.
바람이 마음을 알아주네. 병은 빨리 치료해야 해요. 바람과 함께
도망칠 수 없다. 무념 단전.
내가 너무 쌀쌀맞다고? 난 사실을 있는 그대로 말할 뿐이야. 받아들이지 못하는 사람이 문제겠지.
고화신비 이건 알아보겠느냐? 열어!
사부의 창수를 감상. 퍼져라, 기억했어. 우리 집에 놀러와.
분노의 바람! 바람질주! 차차! 차! 바람질주! 시시하긴.
뜨끈뜨끈하지?
따라오라고 한 적 없어. 느려 벌레 주지 무엄하구나. 속세를 내려볼지니 바람질주. 흑! 차! 흑! 몸에 좋은 애. 약의 사말은 독이란다. 헷! 바람이 마음을 알아주네. 자! 몸에 좋은 약은 쓴다죠. 목숨을 소중히.
징벌의 빛 불타올라라!
자유롭게. 쉿! 핫! 흣! 출발할 때가 됐어. 자! 자!
퍼져라, 기억했어. 끌었네, 끌었어. 말이 안 통하면 해봐.
분노의 바람! 질풍을 따라! 차! 차! 질풍을 따라!
고화신비
퍼져라. 이것이 바로 지혜. 뜨끈뜨끈.
더 크게 울부짖어라! 흑! 핫! 흑! 차! 차! 하! 하!
끌었네. 이따가 조금 아플 거야. 퍼져라.
제우 유홍 빗줄기를 그리기 어려운 법
속세를 내려볼지니. 차! 흑! 하! 흠! 차!
누룽지야. 지식을 너와 공유할게.
벌레 주제 무엄하구나. 분노의 바람. 하! 하! 차! 흑!
병을 빨리 치료해야 해요. 약의 사마를
이깟 상처 따위.
바람과 함께 구름이 숨고
포용 간파. 지금은 정멸의 시간. 도망칠 수 없다.
자유롭게 몸에 좋은 약은 쓴 법이죠. 바람과 함께
즉시 성급.
말이 안 통하면 해버려. 기억했어. 이따가
죽고 싶어 환장했군.
이 검을 알아보겠느냐? 빗줄.
이천한가? 시시하긴. 젠장 두고 보자.
에이. 퍼져라.
속세를 내려볼지니. 젠장 바람질주. 바람질주. 젠장 두고 보자.
포용 간파.
자유롭게 바람을 타고 목숨을 소중히 여겨야죠.
총 공격을 시작하게. 불타.
바람이 마음을 알아주네.
약을 먹.
도망칠 수 없다. 무념 단전.
바람과 함께 이제부터 약의 사마른 독이랍니다.
자,
우리 집에 놀러와. 기억했어.
제우 유호.
사부의 창수를 감상하라고.
벌레주지 무엄하구나. 분노의 바람.
이건 아직 덜 익었어.
찡벌의 소리가 들려. 상처 따위.
병은 빨리 치료해야 해요. 자유롭게 구름이 숨고
번개는 영원히 빛나리. 도망칠 수 없다.
바람과 함께 몸에 좋은 약은 쓴 법이죠. 시도하는 것 자체로
총 공격을 시작하자.
낙엽이 지는 게 안타깝도다. 자유롭게
찡벌의 빛, 무념 단절. 고용 간파.
약의 사마른 독. 바람이 마음을 알아주네.
좋아. 찡벌의 빛.
바람과 함께 구름이 숨고 몸에 좋은 약은 바람이 마음을 알아주네. 병은 빨리 치료해야 해요.
약을 먹어야지.
이깟 상처 따위 아프지 않아. 아파 죽겠네.
바람과 함께 바람을 타고 구름이 가도록 몸에 좋은 약은 쓴법이죠.
번개는 영원히 빛나리.
자유롭게 바람을 타고
내려.
지식을 너와 공유할게. 전부 다 보인다고. 헤이. 말이 안 통하면 해버려. 뜨끈뜨끈하지.
더 크게 울부짖어라! 죽고 싶어 환장했군.
손에 손잡고 전부 다 보인 누룽지야.
속세를 내려볼지니.
고화 신비.
뜨끈뜨끈하지?
사랑이여! 이 주제를 파악하노라!
이따가 조금 아플 거야. 끌었네, 끌었어.
저도 열어. 빗줄기를 그리긴 어려운 법. 총 공격을.
구름이 숨고 기러기가 오네. 바람과 함께 시도하는 것 자체로 갇힌 것입니다.
약을
고용 간파. 지금이 정멸의 시간.
바람이 마음을 알아주네. 낙엽이 지는 게
불타올라라. 내가 도망칠 수 없다.
몸에 좋은 약은 쓴 법이죠. 목숨을 소중히 여기네.
번개는 영원히 빛나리.
자유롭게 구름이 숨고 기러기가
약을 먹어야지.
입가 상처 따위.
시도하는 것 자체로 갇힌 것입니다.
징벌의 빛.
바람이 마음을 알아주네.
무념 단절.
이것이 바로 지혜의 전당이야.
제우 유호. 열어.
사고의 창수를 감상하라고. 뜨끈뜨끈하지? 이따가 조금 아플 거야. 퍼져라. 이따가 조금 아플 거야.
빗줄기를 그리긴 어려운 법. 이 검을 알아보겠.
누룽지야.
속세를 내려볼지니.
우리 집에 놀러와.
벌레 주제 우원하구나. 분노의 바람.
기억했어.
빗줄기를 그리긴 어려운 법. 즉시 성.
뜨끈뜨끈하지? 누룽지야. 아프잖아. 이것이 바로 지혜의 전.
열어. 고화신.
네, 끌었어. 누룽지야.
비천한 것. 속세를 내려볼지니. 바람질주. 질풍을 따라. 질풍을 따라.
터져라. 이따가 끌었네.
어려운 법
커져라.
제우 유호 분노의 바람
다 같이 덤비 바람과 함께 바람을 타고 몸에 좋은 약은
불타올라라
병은 빨리 치료해야 해요.
지금 정렬의 시간 도망칠 수 없다
자유롭게 구름이 솟고 길어고
이깟 상처 따위
약을 먹어야지.
징벌의 피
바람과 함께 목숨을 소중히 여겨야죠.
번개는 영원히 빛나리 고용 간파
약의 사마른 곳 바람이 마음을 알아주네.
총 공격을
바람을 타고 구름이 가도록 자유롭게
징벌의 피
병은 빨리 치료해야 해요. 몸에 좋은 약
불타올라라 무념 단전 고용 간파
바람과 함께
이깟 상처 따위
구름이 숨고 기러기가 오네.
도망칠 수 없다
자유롭게 괜찮아.
징벌의 피
바람과 함께 아파.
도망칠 수 없다
자유롭게 낙엽이 지는 게 안타.
지금이 정멸의 시간
지식을 너와 공유할게. 이따가 좀
이 검 알아보겠느냐
말이 안 통하면 해버려. 누룽지야.
벌레 주제 무엄하구나. 형편없군.
기억했어. 어? 뜨끈뜨끈하지.
아니요 고화 신비 빗줄기를 그리기 어려운 법
이따가 조금 아플 거야. 우리 집에 놀러 와. 끌었네, 끌었어.
속세를 내려볼지니 바람질주. 질풍을 따라 고개를 숙여라.
뜨끈뜨끈. 기억했어. 이해할 수 없어.
아니요.
들어보자 어디 있을까
누룽지야. 약을 먹어야지.
바람을 타고 구름이 가도록 바람이 마음을 알아.
징벌의 빛,
시도하는 것 자체는 갇힌 것이.
무념 단절.
바람과 함께 몸에 좋으니
고용 간파, 불타올라라.
바람이 마음을 알아주네. 구름이 숨고
이깟 상처 따위
자,
도망칠 수 없다.
자, 바람과 함께 병은 빨리 치료해야 해요.
지금이 정멸의 시간. 고용 간파,
바람이 마음을 알아주네.
약을 먹어야지.
낙엽이 지는 게 안타. 자, 자, 자,
내가 모두를 지켜줄게.
시도하는 것 자체는 갇힌 것입니다. 자유롭게
도망칠 수 없다.
약의 상황.
무념 단절.
내려.
커져라. 기억했어. 지식을 너와 사부의 창수를 감상하라고. 커져라.
이 알아보겠느냐? 빗줄기
속세를 내려볼지니 이 주제를 파악하더라.
즉시 성.
이따가 조금 아플 거야.
아니요. 질풍을 따라.
기억했어. 그만 떼. 끌었네. 끌어. 이것이 바로 지혜의
질풍을 따라. 질풍을 따라.
누룽지야. 불을 뿜어라. 말.
비천한 것. 아니요.
반드시 버린다.
뜨끈뜨끈할. 이따가 조금 아플 거야. 지식을 너와 공유.
용서는 없어.
잡았다. 기억했어.
고화 신비. 알아? 이 검을 알아보겠.
고개를 숙여라. 십년으로 떨어지는구나.
바람을 타고 구름이 가도록 바람과 함께
이깟 상처 따위
준비 완료.
고용 간파,
병은 빨리 치료해야 해요.
내 검을 받아.
불타올라라.
자유롭게
번개는 영원히 빛나리. 징벌의 빛.
바람이 마음을 알아주네. 몸에 좋은 약은 쓴다.
좋아, 출발.
아직 안 끝났어.
바람과 함께 구름이 숨고 기러기가 오네.
총 공격을.
약의 사마른
고용 간파,
자유롭게 목숨을 소중히 여겨야죠.
징벌의 빛.
바람과 함께 자,
약을 먹어야
허문이 없고 지금이 정멸의 시간. 도망칠 수 없다.
낙엽이 지는 게 안타깝도다. 바람이 마음을 알아.
불타올라라! 입가 상처다!
시도하는 것 자체로 갇힌 것입니다. 자유롭게
징벌의 빛, 번개는 영원히 빛나리.
이것이 바로 지혜의 전당이야. 사부의 창수를 감사. 이따가 조금 아플 거야. 생명은 끝나기 마련이지.
총 공격을!
다 같이 덤비시지.
바람이 마음을 알아주네. 구름이 숨고 몸에 좋은 약은 쓴 법이죠. 병은 빨리 치료해야 해요.
지금 정멸의 시간. 도망칠 수 없. 입가 상처 따위!
자유롭게 바람을 타고 구름
징벌의 빛,
목숨을 소중히 여겨야죠.
무념 단절.
바람이 마음을 알아주네.
총 공격을!
자유롭게 낙엽이 지는 게
약을 먹어야지.
고용 간파.
시도하는 것 자체로 갇힌 것입니다.
나한테는 안 되게.
지금 정멸의 시간.
자,
아직 안 끝났어.
구름이 숨고 기러기가 오네. 바람과 함께
쓰러져.
아직 쓰러질 순 없어요.
아직 안 끝났어.
도망칠 수 없다.
목숨을 소중히 여겨야죠.
준비 완료.
번개는 영원히 빛나리.
약을 먹.
불타올라라!
자유롭게 낙엽이 지는 게 몸에 좋은 것은
고용 간파. 입가 상처 따위!
시도하는 것 자체로 갇힌 것입니다.
지금 정멸의 시간.
바람과 함께
약을 먹었.
징벌의 빛,
자! 바람이 마음을 알아주네. 바람을 타고 몸에 좋은 것은
고용 간파. 좋아!
목숨을 소중히 여겨야죠.
총 공격을!
자유롭게
번개는 영원히 빛나리. 징벌의 빛.
우리 집에 놀러와. 말이 안 통하면 패버려. 그런데 기억했어.
빗줄기를 그리기 어려운 것. 이 검을 알아보.
벌레 주제 무엄하구나.
즉시 선다.
분노의 바람. 차. 하. 하. 바람질주.
이따가 조금 아플 거야. 누룽지야. 어이?
속세를 내려볼지니. 더 크게 울부짖어라.
기억했어. 퍼져라.
빗줄기를 그리기 어려운 것. 열어.
차. 분노의 바람. 차. 차.
네 소리가 사부의 창수를 감상하라고. 기억했어. 이곳이 바로 지혜의 전당이야.
제우 유혹.
바람이여. 차.
물러서시지.
차. 눈을 마주쳐.
기억했어.
이 검을 알아보겠느냐? 빛의 힘으로
누룽지야.
보호해 주소서.
죽고 싶어 환장했군.
지식을 너와 공유할게. 이따가 좀
부화 신비. 피할 수 없어.
분노의 바람. 하찮군.
뜨끈뜨끈하지. 이것이 폐하의 자비다. 퍼져라. 말이 안 통하면 패버려.
죽고 싶어 환장. 죄업의 업보인가. 낙엽이 지는 게 안타깝도다. 바람이 마음을 알아.
이깟 상처 따위
약의 이 정도군.
도망칠 수 없다.
병은 빨리 치료해야 해.
무념 단절.
자유롭게
불타올라라.
몸에 좋은 약은 쓴 법이죠. 바람이 마음을 알아주네. 구름이 쏘고 기러기요.
징벌의 피.
약을 먹어야지.
내가
시도하는 것 자체가 같이 못해.
번개는 영원히 빛나리. 도망칠 수 없다.
바람과 함께 몸에 좋은 약은
고용 간파.
바람이 마음을 알아주네.
총 공격을.
낙엽이 지는 게 안타깝도다. 바람과 함께 목숨을 소중히 여겨야죠.
불타올라라.
자유롭게. 자.
지금은 정멸의 시간. 도망칠 수 없다. 이깟 상처 따위.
바람이 마음을 알아주네. 구름이 숨고 기러기가 오네.
우리 집에 놀러와. 이따가 조금 아플 거야. 사부의 창수를 감상하라고. 그럼
알아보긴.
바람이여. 유입 주제를 파악하도록.
즉시 성급.
뜨끈뜨끈할. 이따가 조금 아플 거야.
분노의 바람.
기억했어.
열어. 빗줄기를 그리기 어렵.
누룽지야. 지식을 너와 공유.
서두르자.
말이 안 통하면 해버려.
아니야.
불길한 자가 반드시 보인다. 들어보자.
비천한 것.
퍼져라. 기억했어. 끌었네. 끌었어.
질풍을 따라.
이것이 해야 할
퍼져라.
자비다.
달리기 시작하. 누룽지야.
날 따라와.
속세를 내려볼지니.
물러서시지.
우리 집에 놀러와.
이 검을 알아보겠느냐? 빗줄 고화 신비. 힘으로 고운
아니야.
물의 자 물러라.
마주쳐.
기억했어. 퍼져라.
들어보자. 어디 있을까?
이것이 바로 지혜의
죄악을 씻어주마. 물러서시지.
속세를 내려볼지니.
주전자 속
This had better be important.
What's your name, buddy? Are you here to buy some medicine? Where are your mom and dad?
Are you lost?
No, I'm not. My name's Ayu, and I'm here because...
Hey there, Chi-Chi. Hi, Gray. What's going on? Hi, Traveler and Paimon.
You've actually come at the perfect time. This little boy seems to have gotten himself lost. I think he must be new to the city. Probably wandered away from his parents and...
No, listen to me. I'm not the one who's lost. It's my dad.
Your dad? How does a fully grown man manage to get lost in Liyue Harbor?
Well, my dad's always been kind of forgetful. In the past, he was just a little slow to react sometimes. But I'm worried that it's getting more serious.
So, what about your mom?
She went out a few days ago to gather some herbs for my dad, but she still hasn't come back. Meanwhile, my dad's been getting worse and worse. I remembered that the owner of Boo Boo Pharmacy always runs a clinic in Chingsa Village during the Lantern Ride, so I thought, why don't I take Dad to Liyue Harbor to see him there? When we got to the city gate, I took a moment to ask the Millith guards for directions to the pharmacy. And then, when I turned back around, my dad was gone! I asked the Millith guys to go find him, but he said they won't be able to send that many people. So then I figured, maybe I can ask some other people in the city to help.
You came to the right place. We're pros at finding people. Isn't that right, Traveler? Changshan can help. She has a good sense of smell, like a dog. Hey, who's talking about me behind my back?
Chengsheng, Chi-Chi meant that as a compliment. There's no need to be upset. Hello, child. You mentioned that you were looking for the owner of Boo Boo Pharmacy. How might we be of service?
You have a talking snake? Oh, are you Uncle Baiju?
Uncle Baiju?
Chengsheng, now's not the time. My dear boy, could you tell me more about your father's condition, as much as you can recall?
Yes, Dr. Baiju.
I see. And your family lives near Chingsa Village, you say? I visit patients there frequently, but I don't recall ever seeing you or your parents.
Uh-huh. My mom doesn't like meeting other people, especially during Lantern Rite. She always tells me to just stay at home and keep my dad company.
Is that so? Ayu, by any chance, is your mother's name Jiangli?
Whoa, yeah, it is. Do you know my mom, Dr. Baiju?
I certainly do. Gui, Chi-Chi, are there any pressing matters in the pharmacy at the moment? Ayu's parents are old acquaintances of mine, so I would very much like to assist with the search. Would the two of you have time to join me?
Don't forget us two. We already told Ayu that we'd help.
Oh, really? Well, that's wonderful. We are most grateful for your support.
Chi-Chi and I need to clear up the shop front first, but once that's taken care of, we'll be right out to help you with the search.
Family is very important.
Thank you. Then I'll leave you to handle the pharmacy. Traveler, Paimon, why don't you come with me and Ayu? Let's start by talking to the Millilith guards at the city gates, see if they have an update.
The wind rises.
They searched to the north, but couldn't find anyone who matched the description.
Well, that complicates things. The city folks say there's no sign of him either. We need to start looking further afield. But where are we gonna get the people?
Excuse me, sirs. Have you found out anything about my dad yet?
Ah, hey there, buddy. Dr. Baiju. What brings you out this way?
The boy asked for our help, so we're here to join the search. Any new developments to update us on?
Goodness, we were just discussing how we're running out of manpower. As for updates, I'm sorry to say that we've searched the surrounding area thoroughly, but didn't find anything.
The guards at the crossing up ahead said they hadn't seen anyone either, so we don't believe he was heading towards the Guili Plains. But it is possible that he was bound for Luhua Pool.
Luhua Pool? The terrain there can be tricky to navigate. Let's hope he hasn't run into any trouble.
You will? Oh, great. We can't thank you enough.
Sorry we weren't able to find your dad, buddy.
That's okay. Thank you for trying.
Behold! Too slow. The wind rises.
Dad! Dad, can you hear me?
Look, there's somebody over there. Oh no, it's... Hey, you! Stop! Don't go any further! Watch where you're going! Dear customer, Wangsheng Funeral Parlor does appreciate your patronage, but you needn't hasten the inevitable. Are you all right? Huh?
Dad!
Hey, Hu Tao! My, who do we have here? It's the Traveler in Paimon, and, my worst nightmare. I see she still hasn't warmed to you.
Thank you, Director Who, for saving this man.
Dad, are you okay? Do you recognize me? It's me, Ayu.
You're... Ayu? Who am I?
Your name is Jia Liang, and you live just west of Chingsa Village. You were supposed to come to Liyue Harbor to see the doctor. Remember? Does that jog your memory?
Oh, my name is Jia Liang. Liyue Harbor. See the doctor? Yes, I'm Jia Liang, and I need to see the doctor. Wait, why do I need to see the doctor?
Uh-oh. He seems in really bad shape. We need to get him back to Boo Boo Pharmacy right away. Sorry, Hu-Tao. Gotta dash. Dinner's on us next time. Hold on a second. You're not seriously thinking of taking him to Boo Boo Pharmacy in this state, are you? Huh? Why not? What's the problem? Come on, Baizhu. Don't tell me you haven't noticed it. Didn't your master teach you how to spot the signs? Why do I get the sense that you spotted them right away, but you're planning to use it for your own ends? Use what? What are you talking about? Paimon's lost.
There are traces of God remains in Jia Liang's system.
Yes, but more importantly, they're on the verge of an outburst. If that happens, the consequences will be unthinkable. Paimon, sorry, what?
God remains? There's no need to worry, Director Who. I have methods of keeping them at bay. It is the sworn duty of all who practice medicine to cure illnesses and save lives. What reason would I have to neglect a patient in need who is right there in front of me? Besides, it was my late master's dying wish to be able to save this patient in particular. Perhaps out of respect for him, you could give me a day's grace so that I have time to treat him?
Now you're bringing my great-uncle into this? Baizhu, just what are you planning this time?
Merely to cure this man, nothing more. But of course, if you have any doubt as to my intentions, you are more than welcome to accompany me to Boo Boo Pharmacy and monitor my activities.
Oh, really? I thought I was persona non grata at Boo Boo Pharmacy. You're being unusually generous today. Okay, deal. We're not going to solve anything by keeping Jia Liang here. I'm happy to do it your way, but only for my great-uncle's sake, and the Traveler's, of course. You must be pleased you brought the Traveler along. Otherwise, this would have been a much more vexing ordeal.
Well, time is of the essence. Let's get ourselves back to Boo Boo Pharmacy at once. Blockages within the cardiovascular system, reduced blood flow and energy circulation? I see. I suppose this must have caused the cognitive abnormalities.
Dr. Baizhu, how bad is it? Can you cure him?
Don't you worry. Baizhu's a really great doctor. He's sure to find a way. Isn't that right, Baizhu?
Ayu, do you know when your father first started displaying these symptoms?
I'm not sure. He's been like this for as long as I can remember. But it wasn't as bad as this when I was still little.
So it's been a long time indeed. No, I have a treatment plan in mind. We can start tonight. Come and see me again tomorrow morning. I promise that by then, Ayu will find his father healthy and lucid again.
Thank you, Dr. Baizhu. Thank you so much.
If you still have any misgivings, Director Who, Please feel free to hang around for as long as you wish.
However, it would be best if you step outside this room. A doctor must be able to focus when treating a patient. Any distractions heighten the risk of complications.
Yes, of course, absolutely. I'll just go and look at the flowers or something. But I will be back in an instant at the first sign that something's amiss.
See you tomorrow, Baizhu and Changcheng.
Bye for now, everyone.
Are you ready, Baizhu?
Ready as I'll ever be. I'm used to it by now. Come on, let's get started.
Well, huh? You know, Paimon's kind of curious after hearing Baizhu mention those people from his past. What do you think they were like? Yeah, you must be curious too, right? Let's go see what we can find out while Baizhu's busy treating Ayu's dad.
Behold!
While I'm idling time on admiring the scenery, the spectacled snake-bedecked docs doing surgery. Hello, you busy bees, and what do you have to discuss with the funeral director today? Actually, don't tell me. Let me guess. From the looks on your faces, you've got some questions for me.
Guilty as charged. So, we were just a little curious about Baiju's master. What was he like? Oh, and also, how come you and Baizhu could tell so quickly that Jia Liang had god remains in his system?
Huh? I thought I told you once before. Wangsheng Funeral Parlor was first founded to fight back against the vengeful wrath of gods defeated in war. Well, it is a dusty old tale by this point. Long story short, in the ancient world, dead gods were acting up, so our ancestors started purifying the air and burning the bodies of the deceased to guard the border between life and death. These days, we don't deal with the wrath of the gods anymore, but all the relevant know-how is still passed down to each generation, so we can identify gods' remains when we see them.
Okay, Paimon gets it now. Wait, so how did Baizhu learn to spot them?
Almost certainly from his master, who was also my great-uncle. Baiju's master was my grandpa's younger brother, a former deputy director of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor.
Wow, fancy that! Huh. So, if he was from Wangsheng Funeral Parlor, how did he end up as Baiju's master?
According to my grandpa, he and my great-uncle once went traveling together when they were young. They ended up at Chenyu Vale, where they met a pharmacist. That pharmacist must have cast some sort of spell on my great-uncle, because after that encounter, he suddenly announced he wanted to leave the family business and go My grandpa had a huge argument with him, but he couldn't convince him to stay. So my grandpa inherited the funeral parlor, while my great-uncle stayed in Chenyu Vale to practice medicine. They never spoke to each other again.
Funeral director to doctor is a pretty big career change. Kinda hard to imagine. But Why did it drive a wedge between them for the rest of their lives? That seems a bit extreme.
If he had just become a regular doctor, there would have been no issue. After all, the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor wasn't unlike a regular doctor's clinic in the early days. But according to my grandpa, the pharmacist they met had a very ominous aura about him. And on top of that, the kind of medicine practiced in the Chenyu Vale tradition goes against the natural order of things.
In what way?
Don't know. My grandpa didn't know the specifics. And you've seen how wary Baiju is around me. He'd never tell me anything, but even that says to me that he definitely has something to hide. One thing I do know about Baiju is that he's obsessed with the idea of immortality. But whether that has anything to do with what he's hiding is hard to say. Anyway, so I will be sticking around here for now to keep a close eye on the situation. Maybe tomorrow I'll finally figure out what he's up to.
After all that, it seems like we have more questions than answers. Never mind. We'll just have to ask Baiju himself about all of this tomorrow. It's a museum!
Dad!
Oh,
Dad, you remember me!
yes. I remember now. Oh, why, I'm so... You must have been worried sick. Has your mom shown up yet? She's been gone for a while, hasn't she?
Don't worry, Dad. I got the Adventurers Guild to help us look for her. And Dr. Baiju's gonna help too. Right now, all you need to do is concentrate on getting better.
Great. That's wonderful. I can't thank you enough, Dr. Baiju.
My pleasure, really. It's the least I can do to honor my late master's dying wish. If anything, I should be apologizing to you for not making the time to visit in all these years.
Not at all, Dr. Baiju. It's only because Jiang Li... What was her reason again?
You're still in the early stages of recovery, so you'll need to take it easy for a while. Take it slowly and try not to overexert yourself.
I suggest you stay at Boo Boo Pharmacy and rest for at least the next few days.
Director Hu, do you have any further reservations about Jia Liang's condition?
It seems like the evil presence is gone after all. You really did manage to suppress it, huh? But how did you accomplish this in a single night?
That would be a trade secret, I'm afraid. If that gives you any cause for concern, you may continue to monitor Jia Liang for as long as you wish. Though I regret to say that Boo Boo Pharmacy cannot offer to reimburse Wangsheng Funeral Parlor for any revenue lost in the meantime.
Oh, come on, Baiju. I'm not that unreasonable.
I've been stuck indoors for too long. Baiju, take me outside for some air, or I'm going to suffocate.
Yes, of course. Everyone, please excuse Chiangsheng and myself for a moment.
suffering now, are we? Did you seriously expect to cover it up just by putting on a brave face and ignoring it? If it weren't for my quick thinking, they'd have all seen the sorry state you're in by now. But in any case, why must you keep this a secret from everybody? You should at least share your secret with one person you trust.
Who's there?
Ah!
Why did you follow us here? Oh, it's nothing. I just needed to get some air.
What did I just say about putting on a brave face? Traveler, Paimon, the truth is, Baiju did not cure Jialiang's illness. Instead, he transferred some of his own life force to his patient to temporarily subdue the poison in his system. Baiju, can you please explain all of this?
My predecessors in medicine forged a contract with Changsheng. Every successor to this contract is able to use Changsheng's secret art to treat patients. I believe the irregularities with Jialiang's heart meridian were likely caused by a poison concocted using god remains as a key ingredient. The poison has not been purged from Jialiang's system. Rather, I infused him with some of my own life force, using Changsheng as the delivery medium. This will suppress the poison's effects for a limited time.
Changsheng? You can do that? Huh. Paimon always thought you were just Baiju's strange choice of a necklace. Hey, I'll have you know that I commanded the respect of even the Adepti back in Chenyu Vale. If anything, he is my mannequin. I was treating patients with Baiju's master's master long before he ever set eyes on his first medical text. Whoa. Guess you shouldn't judge a snake by its skin.
Please, that's enough.
Wait a sec. Huto was saying that the branch of medicine you studied uses some pretty dubious methods. So, when you transfer your life force, does that mean you're actually damaging your own body?
Hardly. Changsheng helps to keep my chi in balance, so there is no great harm done.
Still, Baiju's life force is not unlimited. We must find a way to neutralize the poison in Jialiang's body. And Traveler, Paimon, would you lend this dummy a hand? He needs someone checking up on him, or he'll exhaust himself trying to accomplish everything on his own. Baiju, don't you think you should seize this opportunity? You cannot expect to hide this from everyone for your entire life. Time will see that all secrets surface eventually.
Entire life. Thank you, Traveler and Paimon.
Huh. Paimon doesn't think we've seen this side of you. But there's no need to thank us. You've helped us out before.
The poison in Jialiang's system must have accumulated over a prolonged period. I think I should pay a visit to their family home and look for clues as to how he might have been exposed to it. Yes, I asked Ayu this morning before you arrived. He told me that his family lives in a secluded spot to the west of Qingsa village. Let's head there together once I've asked Gui and Chi-Chi to look after the pharmacy. As well as investigating Jialiang's exposure to the poison, we should also keep an eye out for Ayu's missing mother, my fellow disciple Jiang Li.
There's no such thing as pure freedom in this world. Even the wind cannot blow on forever.
The wind rises. Behold!
Whoa! There's a house all the way out here? Huh. It's so well hidden, Paimon's never noticed it before.
Nor have I. And I've hosted clinics at Qingsa Village many times in the past. If you ask me, Jiang Li was trying to remain unnoticed.
Oh, that reminds Paimon. We meant to ask earlier, but it slipped our minds in the rush to get here. Could you tell us more about Jiang Li? You said she was your fellow disciple, right?
She was indeed. We studied medicine together under the same master near Chenyu Vale. She is several years older than I and also began her travels far earlier than me. As a result, the time I spent studying alongside her was rather short.
Supposedly, she met an herb gatherer sometime during her travels and decided to settle down with him. That must have been Jialiang. Wait, Changsheng, are you saying neither of you had actually met Jialiang or Ayu before all of this?
Jiang Li did occasionally come back to Chenyu Vale to see our master, but for whatever reason, she hardly ever talked about her family. The last time she visited us, she and master had some sort of quarrel. We never heard from her after that. It almost seemed as if she'd gone into hiding.
Quarrel? What happened? I don't know. I did not witness the argument myself.
Nor did master ever explain it to me. All he would say is that should I ever encounter Jiang Li or her family in the future, I should do everything in my power to help them.
Oh, so that's why you went to such extreme lengths to help Jialiang.
No. Even if my master had never said anything, it would still be my duty as a doctor to help him. My decision...
Paimon never knew you were so selfless, Baiju. Paimon always had you down as the sneaky, scheming type. Sorry.
So a few words from me is enough to dispel all your suspicions, You ought not be quite so quick to relax your guard, Paimon. Sometimes even the good guys have their own private agenda.
What the... Okay, that was the most suspicious-sounding thing you've ever said.
Let's leave the idle chatter there for now, Jiang Li has lived in this house for many years. There must be something here that can shed a little light on this whole situation. Let's split up. But if anyone finds anything, we'll examine it together.
How time flies.
I wonder if Jiang...
Traveler, Paimon, come quick! What is this?
Changsheng and I found a hidden compartment. This is what was hidden inside.
You sense it too? You're right. This is a poison concocted using god remains. Is it breathing? Paimon's not seeing things, is she?
No, your eyes do not deceive you. I do believe the poison in this bottle is alive. some toxins act a lot like living organisms. I read about this once in the Origins and Symptoms of Diseases. This ancient class of poisons consists of mother and minor loads, capable of sustaining a connection over distances. If it's a concoction of this kind we're dealing with, then both the poison in Jialiang's system and this one here are likely minor loads. Offshoots, essentially.
Offshoots? So, the main body is...
Correct. Whoever is administering the poison can manipulate the source to indirectly control the poisoned individual's behavior and even cognition. Similarly, the poisoned individual will hear, to a varying extent, the call of the source.
The call of the... Wait. So, back when Jialiang ran off, maybe that explains where he was heading!
Only one thing could have been drawing him there. The source of the god remains used as the poison's key ingredient, the mother lode.
This is getting crazier and crazier. What kind of person would do all this just to poison Jialiang? Hey, why has everyone gone quiet all of a sudden?
Since this poison was carefully hidden away in a secret compartment, the one who concocted it is likely a resident of the house.
You mean Jialiang? Why would he poison himself?
Think a little harder, Paimon. Someone else who lives here, and who might have expertise in crafting drugs.
Huh? So you're saying... it was Jiang Li? Wait, but that doesn't make any sense either! Why would she poison her own husband?
I agree. It makes little sense. Jiang Li does not strike me as the kind of person who would do such a thing.
Look at the facts, though. How many people in the entirety of Liyue have the ability to concoct a poison from god remains?
It's too early to draw any conclusions. We should question Jia Liang about it once he has made more progress in his recovery. Yes. According to the Origins and Symptoms of Diseases, the minor loads will disappear if the mother lode is purged. So if we can find and destroy the source of these god remains, the poison will leave Jialiang's system without the need for any further treatment. Do you know anything about god remains in Qingsa village?
Even the history books have no record of this. The only ones who'll know anything are those old fogies who have been hanging around here since the beginning of time.
Didn't you used to be on good terms with the Adepti, though? You sure they didn't tell you anything about this?
Well,
Changsheng's memories and powers are not what they were in her prime. These days, she has to enter a contract with a mortal and share their life force just to sustain her own life. I fear that such ancient events are long gone from her memory by now.
Whoa, what? Enter a contract? Share life force? Sounds like some pretty spooky sorcery if you ask Paimon.
Hey! Plenty of people would jump at the chance to join forces with a powerful being like me. With my assistance in rebalancing your chi, not only can you extend your lifespan, but you will also be stronger, healthier, and able to eat whatever you like with no risk of upsetting your stomach.
Stronger and healthier? Baizhu, maybe when you retire, you can let Paimon sign a contract with Changsheng for a few days.
Unfortunately, Changsheng's contract has strict requirements regarding the host's temperament. None of her hosts have ever been exempted from these rules. I fear that I will be unable to accommodate your wishes, Paimon.
Temperament? Hey! What are you trying to say? Did you just subtly insult Paimon to her face? Ugh! Paimon's mad! You're getting ugly nicknames, both of you! Baiju, you're Mannequin Man! Changsheng, you're just a pain in the neck! This is exactly why your natural temperament makes you woefully unsuited to being my host.
All right, everybody, calm down. Back to the matter at hand. Is there any way at all for us to seek counsel from the Adepti about this?
With how antisocial they are? If it were up to them, they'd go their whole life. What?
Seems you're as well connected as they say, Traveler. We are truly fortunate to have you on our side.
Oh, if you're talking about who Paimon thinks you're talking about, you better do the honors.
You called?
Gets Paimon every time. Aren't all Adepti in the habit of materializing out of thin air like this?
Well, this is unexpected.
Huh? It's you.
Baiju of Bubu Pharmacy. I do believe I've had the pleasure before. The Lantern Rite, when we met briefly. I was unaware of your true identity. I must apologize for the discourtesy.
Huh? You two already know each other?
Our paths have crossed once before. I sense the presence of evil spirits. Is this why you called me? So someone has been concocting demonic poison. Too often, fervent desires drive mortals to abandon all regard for their own safety. It is lamentable. I now know what you seek. It is true that a god's remains are buried beneath the foundations of Qingce village. A vile monster known as the Che once wrought havoc over this land. Before it was subdued by Rex Lapis, the land was finally cleansed of poison when Rex Lapis used statues in his likeness to seal the serpent's remains. Qingce village was founded some time after that. The seal is still mostly intact. If the Che is the source, then it must be some of its blood leaking from deep underground. However, its aura is faint and barely detectable. You will need to investigate further to identify the location of the leak. I do not like to intervene against mortals unless absolutely necessary. But when demonic forces are involved, things can spiral out of control. If that happens, be sure to call my name again. Nothing. I do not wish to sway decisions that are mortals to make, but immortality may not be the blessing that you imagine it to be.
I shall treasure your words of instruction, Master Adeptus.
Farewell.
What a strange Adeptus. Rather different from the way I remember them. That's Xiao for ya! And thanks to him, we finally got some concrete info to go off of.
If the god remains are leaking from underground, Jiangli must be paying a visit to a subterranean cave on her herb-gathering trips.
Master, there's a problem.
Gui? Did you run all the way from Bubu Pharmacy?
What happened? Don't panic. Just catch your breath and tell me everything.
It's Jiaoliang. He was fine one minute, and then he suddenly took a turn for the worse.
Already? How? Based on past experience, he should have been fine for the next 3 days at least.
It seems that my worst fears have been confirmed. Everyone, back to Bubu Pharmacy now.
Evil shall be dispersed.
In the name of the princesses!
Dad, what's wrong? Dad?
Don't be scared. Dr. Baishu will be back soon.
How is he doing?
Dr. Baiju, you're back! My dad was doing fine earlier, but then he suddenly started coughing up blood. Now he can't even get a full word out anymore.
When Gui left, he was still conscious. But now...
Gui, please take Jialiang to the back room and prepare for treatment.
Yes, of course.
Don't worry, Ayu. I will...
Baishu's not gonna use Changsheng's secret art again, is he? Is that really no...
How are you feeling, Dad? Are you still hurting anywhere? You're not gonna suddenly collapse again, are you?
Much better, Ayu. I'm feeling much better. In fact, I can't explain it, but somehow I feel even better than usual. Wait, where's Dr. Baiju? I still haven't had a chance to thank him. Seems he moved me here before I came to.
Master said he needed to take a quick rest and asked me to bring you out of the treatment room. He hasn't emerged yet, so he must still be resting.
Oh, really? Well, he must be tired from treating me for 2 nights in a row. I don't know how I can begin to repay him for saving my life. I'll have to discuss it properly with Jiang Li once we find her. Speaking of which, has there been any word of her whereabouts yet?
No, the Adventurers Guild hasn't gotten back to me yet. I'll go check with them again in a bit.
I'll come with...
Don't forget what Master said. You're still not out of the woods yet, Jialiang. I strongly suggest that you stay and rest at Boo Boo Pharmacy for now. I can accompany IU to the Adventures Guild.
I suppose you're right. I'll have to rely on you this time. Though, on the bright side, this means I can thank Dr. Baiju in person once he's finished resting.
Traveler, Baiju hasn't shown his face ever since he went in to treat Jialiang again. Do you think he... Huh? Hey, wait up!
Huh?
You're finally awake? That was far too risky, even with me here to help you balance your chi.
There was no time. I had no other choice. In any case, it was not completely without benefit to myself. I managed to learn something. Jiang Li's design is quite brilliant. She makes numerous innovations that I can learn from. Alas, if only there wasn't a catch.
So, how much longer do you think Baiju's gonna nap for?
They've been outside waiting for you the whole time while you were asleep. Shall we at least go and show our faces?
All right.
Surely he hasn't. There's no way he could have just...
Who's talking behind our backs again?
Ah! Baiju! Changsheng!
Of course. There's no need to be concerned. I merely had to transfer a rather large amount of life force on this occasion. But, with Changsheng's help, I will recover in time.
Jialiang seemed fine yesterday. Why did he need more life-saving treatment again so soon?
I made an error in my initial diagnosis. Jialiang is in fact suffering from more than one ailment, and as a result, his life force depleted at a greater rate than I had anticipated.
What? You mean, even if you got all the poison out of him, he'd still be sick?
Yes. But more pertinently, the poison in Jialiang's system is there precisely because it is being used to manage his underlying medical condition. Jialiang has a rare congenital heart condition, and ongoing treatment is essential to maintaining healthy functioning of his heart meridian. Left untreated, it puts the patient at risk of coughing up blood and fainting, and in the longer term, causes irreversible damage to the internal organs. Though it was created from god remains, this formula is not a poison in Jialiang's case. Rather,
had he not taken it all these years, he likely would have died a long time ago.
still, using poison to treat a disease is hardly a viable long-term solution. As time passed, and the poison accumulated in his system, it began to impact his cognition. Moreover, the longer he relied upon this medicine, the more resistant his body became to it. Jiang Li had to concoct ever greater quantities to ensure its continued efficacy, or he could have still perished at any moment.
That explains why Ayu said his dad has been getting worse, and why his mom went off to gather herbs.
God remains are extremely dangerous to be around, because humans have no natural defense against them. I shudder to think how many times Jiang Li has exposed herself to them. I fear that the situation is just as that Adeptus described. In an effort to save Jialiang's life, Jiang Li has abandoned all regard for her own safety.
I never suspected that even Jiang Li would turn to the same path as so many others over the years. Perhaps this, to sacrifice one's own life to save others. To go beyond human means in order to do the impossible, whatever the cost may be.
Well, I think that it's too early to say with any certainty what fate has in any case, I have stabilized Jialiang's condition for now, so our immediate priority should be to get ourselves back to Qingsa village and find out where Jiang Li is. Her regular exposure to god remains over such a long period will have been catastrophic for her health. And given that she's already been missing for several days, I am fearing the worst.
It's me, Traveler, Dr. Baiju.
Ah! It's Jialiang! Don't tell Paimon you overheard everything already.
Dr. Baiju, please let me come with you. You've already done so much for my family. I can no longer just sit here and watch while you put yourself at risk for Jiang Li's sake. After all, if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't have had to put herself in harm's way in the first place. I know I won't be of much help in battle, but at the very least, I can show you the way. I'm sure I'll be able to remember. I know there's a spot where she says goodbye to me every time she goes to gather her herbs. I'm sure I'll remember. I have to remember.
Be careful. If you get too agitated, your blood pressure and stress levels will rise, putting further pressure on your heart. For your own safety, you should stay here and rest.
No! We're out of time! We have to go now, before I forget everything again.
This trip will be extremely dangerous, and there is a very real possibility that you will not return from it. Are you sure you're prepared for that?
I never expected to live this long in the first place. My death is already long overdue. So why should I fear it? There's only one thing I fear now, and that's that I'll forget her again before we manage to find her.
Very well. Then follow me.
Dr. Baiju, are you heading out again?
Yes. This could be a long one. Could you please prepare a dose of the usual formula? Please add an extra measure of mistgrass pollen and 1 dose each of the ingredients from the 3rd and 5th compartments of my medicine cabinet. I hope it works.
Dr. Baishu? Do you mean...
Hop to it now. And remember to be careful with the cauldron this time. You don't want to burn yourself again.
Okay.
Useless. Here.
That strange feeling is back. It's just like the day I went missing. It's as if something inside me is trying to guide me somewhere.
The Motherlode's influence is growing stronger. But is it because we're getting closer to the source? Or because the leakage of Che blood is growing more severe? Jialiang, can you sense which direction the source is in?
I think it's... this way. Yes, I'm sure of it. I feel a dull ache in my heart. This must be the way. This place feels familiar. I think I've been here before.
There is an inauspicious presence here.
I think I remember this place.
Jialiang, are you okay? Maybe you should rest here while we continue the search.
No, I have to keep going. Jiangli is still waiting for me. Then let's hurry.
From the looks of it, you've already tracked down the location of the source? Really? That's good to hear. I cannot simply look the other way when evil spirits are involved. In any case, the evil presence here is growing stronger. I can sense it. Whatever you're planning to do, make it quick. If you leave it too long, and I am compelled to intervene, things may not turn out the way you wish.
Boring.
Understood.
This place gives Paimon the creeps. Who knows what we're gonna find up ahead? The digging marks here appear amateur and rather old. I suspect it is a thieves' tunnel. A thieves' tunnel? Paimon has heard rumors about treasure around these parts before.
Judging by the tools they left behind. But why did they abandon this place without even...
I remember now. But she said that the method would
Easy, Jialiang.
The doctor will see.
A bit of...
Useless. Let's light it up! Oz, reveal!
The doctor will see you next. Whoa, there's a sensor here. Those treasure hoarders sure made themselves...
I believe this sensor was used to burn a monster-repelling
A monster repelling incense?
The incense was burned several days ago. No doubt an encounter with the very same entity. After them, Jiang Li was the next person to discover this place.
That's right. This sensor. This is where...
Jialiang!
I'm fine. Let's keep going. I can feel it. We're getting close. We're almost there. It's right up ahead. The place where we made a pact together to...
Aha! We can keep going now!
From the looks of it, the energy released by this mechanism can not only clear barriers, but also be conducted by corresponding mechanisms. Perhaps it's something we can make use of.
Let night fall!
Mind the side effects. A bitter pill to swallow. Seems...
Coming to be! Moment of birth! Lament! Here! Worthless! Worthless! Here! Live!
The doctor will see you now.
Coming to be!
Jung-Li!
Look out! There's a monster next to her!
The god remains must have lured them here. Watch my back.
Have witnessed my great undertaking!
Mind the side effects.
By royal decree!
Live!
Let's light it up!
Seems like an emergency.
The doctor will see you.
Teamwork is strength!
Feel this ancient power! Burst forth!
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
How serious is it? Is she...
I can still feel a pulse, but her condition is quite grave. The god remains here are encroaching on her cognition, much as the poison in your system did to you. If we don't eliminate it soon, then even if we save her life, I fear that she may never wake up again.
Then, what are we waiting for? Let's destroy the remains right away!
It's not as simple as that. The poison within Jialiang's body is, if the source is purged, the
and the poison within Jialiang's... Oh no.
Indeed. If the god remains here are purged.
I wondered when the stay might...
Wait! But we've all been working... Baiju, you're a great doctor!
You could continue to take the poison, which would buy you some time. As for Jiang...
It appears to me that she was striving to concoct your medicine for you, right up until the moment when she lost consciousness.
Dr. Baiju, give it to me straight.
The god remains have reached her internal organs. Under ordinary circumstances, I would give her less than 3 days. But if I were to treat her...
But what would be the point of that? Dr. Baiju, I'm all too aware of the dangers of god remains. If I continue to sustain my own life using this wretched substance, not only would Jiangli have to keep risking her life to make my medicine for me, I know for a fact that I should have died over a decade ago. The fact that I've been around, if my choice can bring Jiangli back...
Jialiang...
After cheating death for so long, it... Traveler...
Of course.
Thank you, everyone. And I'm sorry that...
Jialiang... Baiju, Changsheng... Is there really nothing else you can do?
I am sure that over the years, Jiangli will have tried all the conventional methods known to...
Mortals are fated to grow old and pass on when their natural lifespan runs out. If it were... What a crazy situation! Jiangli risked it all to save Jialiang's life, and now Jialiang has to sacrifice himself to save...
I've seen many final farewells in my time, but I can never get used to it.
In the human realm, all things must come. At least, that's what generations of
The path they chose was indeed a heroic one. But when I think of those who would willingly sacrifice themselves for others, I cannot help but think that theirs are the lives least deserving of death.
When all this began, we agreed that once... If you could only see him now. So... I've said my goodbyes.
As you wish.
It will eat away at both your cognition and your memories. In the end, you'll become little more than a shadow of your true self.
I'll take it. At the very least, it will allow me to stay with you.
Mom, something's really wrong with Dad.
Don't fret, Ayu. I will gather some medicinal herbs right away. I promise.
Why would these memories come to mind now? The longer we live, the tighter we cling to what we have. Oh, how I would love to hear your voice one last time.
Jialiang. Jialiang! Jialiang! Jialiang!
Dad, are you awake?
Jiangli, are you? Didn't I... Huh? What are These.
How does it feel to come back to life?
Do you feel strange or different in any way? If so, could you describe it to me in detail?
Dr. Baiju, I thought that I was going to...
Die? You did indeed. As things stand now, you're more akin to a zombie than a human.
I'm a zombie?
That's right. Before we set off, I asked Chi-Chi to prepare an elixir of immortality. With its help, you have been suspended in the space between life and death. Of course, this is but a crude imitation of an Adeptus art. I don't expect it to extend your life indefinitely. Whether it will keep you alive for a few days, a few months, or a few years, I'm as interested as you to find out. But, however long you have left, I believe it should be more than sufficient time for you to say your final goodbyes before departing the world in peace. I hope that Director Hu finds this arrangement to be a satisfactory one.
An elixir of immortality? How'd you cook that up? Ugh. Leave it to you to work on something like that behind my back.
It's a work in progress that hardly lives up to its name, and it would have had no effect were it not for Jia Liang's iron will. In the end, I am merely a doctor. I understand very little of the great principles governing life and death and the perpetual cycle of yin and yang. All I know is that if I'm presented with a life that deserves to be saved, I will do everything in my power to save them. And even this would have counted for nothing without Director Hu's assistance. After all, did you not tell Jia Liang to show us the way before we set off for Qingce village?
Oops. And I'm busted.
Without Director Hu nudging things in the right direction, we may not have found Jiangli in time.
No wonder he didn't mention the elixir back then. I thought he was being frank and transparent with me for once, but apparently not.
Director Hu told me to keep her suggestion a secret, but it seems nothing escapes Dr. Baiju's attention.
Never underestimate a serpent's sense of smell.
All I wanted was to help Jia Liang find his missing wife as soon as possible, so that he could be on his way to the afterlife without any unfulfilled wishes making the journey more difficult than it needs to be. Leave it to Boo Boo Pharmacy to snatch the perfect opportunity right out of my hands at the last hurdle. One Chi-Chi was enough of a conundrum. The last thing I need's another one. If I'd known this was coming, I'd have whisked him off to the Wangsheng funeral parlor the moment I found him.
You stay away from my dad! When I grow up, I'm gonna become an even better doctor than Mom and Baiju, and cure Dad for good!
Oh, is that right? Well, you wouldn't be the first person who's tried to put Wangsheng funeral parlor out of business. If you're serious about it, you'll have your work cut out for you. Traveler, Paimon, I'll catch you all another time.
Is she finally gone? All's well that ends well. If you ask Paimon, we should probably do something to celebrate this hard-earned family reunion. At times like this, a grand celebratory feast is in order.
It feels like it was a whole lifetime ago when I last talked with Zhongli and Ayu around the dinner table.
Yay! Paimon can't wait! Alright, first things first, off to the market for some fresh ingredients. Let's go!
Wait up! I'll come too!
Baiju, thank you so much for everything.
Don't mention it, Jiangli. I was just doing my duty.
Just your duty, huh? Baiju, Changsheng, would you mind if we took this conversation out? Time flies. It's been so long since we bade each other farewell in Chenyu Vale. Changsheng, you're the same as ever. You haven't changed one bit.
You, on the other hand, have changed a lot.
You're right. My younger self would have never imagined that things would one day turn out this way. Or that you'd turn out this way, Baizhu. I've taken a look at your elixir of immortality. It's not altogether dissimilar from the poison.
I have to say, Jiangli, it was a stroke of genius to use poison to maintain life.
No, not at all. With your intellect, but I'm still impressed by how... Not just that. Baizhu, be honest with me. Did you try out some of the...
Huh. Told you the
Life force isn't the only thing that Changsheng's contract lets you transfer between bodies, is it?
Nothing gets past you, Jiangli. You are correct. Besides life force, Changsheng's secret art also allows for the transfer of toxins and diseases. When I treated Jia Liang for the second time, I transferred some of the poison from his body into my own. Not only did this allow me to alleviate the burden on him, but it also gave me an opportunity to study its properties. There is no need to worry about any long-term consequences to my health, however.
But you took such a huge risk. What am I saying? The reason I left our master and went into hiding all those years ago was that he was getting old. And I didn't want him using up any more of his own life force to treat my health. But in the end, how were my methods any different? I risked one life to save another. Are all disciples of Chenyu Vale destined to turn out this way? To live a short life?
We are doctors, Jiangli.
Baizhu, I can tell that over the... Can you still stop before it's...
I think you know the answer, Jiangli.
Hey, food's ready!
Mom, come and join us. The Traveler taught me a load...
Yes, darling. Mom will be there in just a second. Baizhu, Chi-Chi, Gui, and all...
There's no need to worry, Jiangli.
Baizhu, what did Jiang Li mean by not around anymore? Are you gonna be okay? Every single mortal I've ever contracted with, including Baizhu and Jiang Li's master, has passed away at a young age. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. You said that...
Long ago, when plagues ravaged the land, one doctor made a pledge to rid the world of pain and suffering. But even the most ingenious mortal medicine could not stay the tide of disease. And after working tirelessly for many years, even his dearest loved ones fell sick and bade their final farewell. Legends told of an herb lord in Chenyu Vale who could cure any illness known to mankind. The doctor sought the herb lord, but found only a white snake, its breathing weak and its power all but spent.
Sign this contract and let our lives be joined. Then I will impart to you the secret art of healing. But be warned, this art will harm your own health.
With means beyond human ken, the doctor could now reverse the process of death. And yet, the time still came to say goodbye. Only now, the one departing was the doctor, his life force spent. His final act in life was to pass on the contract to his final patient, his favorite disciple. The disciple chose to dedicate their life to saving the lives of others. And generation upon generation followed in these footsteps. Since I inherited this contract, I've always respected the path taken by my predecessors, and followed it myself unquestioningly. That is until I tried to use the art to save my own disciple's beloved. She begged me not to use up my own life force. She said that this art is a poison chalice, an evil and unnatural practice. She did not wish to sacrifice one life for the sake of another, when both were lives she treasured. Only then did it occur to me. Did I not suffer when my master passed away, just as patients' families do at their loved one's deathbed? Are not the lives cut short by this contract just as worthy of saving as any patients? What is this contract to us? Medicine or poison? Alas, I no longer have enough time left to find the answer. I entrust to your care both Changsheng and this final question. May you find a remedy for this conundrum, which has ailed us so.
Time and again, no matter how much I try to warn them or balance their chi, I can never save them. And you? What's your answer?
If I abandoned the contract and left you without a host, what would happen?
I suppose I'd spend my final moments taking a nice nap on Mount Yaojun. Then I'd be reunited with my old friends and your predecessors.
Then it's decided. If there's a life in front of me that deserves to be saved, why shouldn't I do everything within my power to save it?
Once again, it's the same answer. So be it. Close your eyes. Who knows how many more people will take on this contract?
None. This contract will end with me.
My contract has strict requirements on the host's natural temperament. All my hosts have been most pure of heart.
But when one with an altruistic nature gains access to this art, they are more seduced than the average person by the miracle of overturning the laws of life and death. Though they know better than anyone else the fate that awaits them, when faced with the sorrows of humanity, they are like moths that throw themselves into the flame.
So, bye you.
I suppose that would make me a moth that yearns for the light, but doesn't want to be burned. Sheng's art can transfer pain and suffering between people, but it cannot reduce the total. I have nothing but the utmost respect for my predecessors, who sacrificed their lives for their principles.
Huh? But didn't...
What makes a poison, poison? And what makes a disease, a disease? When it comes... If disease is defined as deviation from normal functioning, then who... Many may view the notion of searching for immortality in poisons and illnesses as a flagrant violation of the natural. I don't want those who come after me to lose their lives to this contract. Nor do I wish for Changsheng to perish from losing her host. Precisely. I will be Changsheng's final host, and the tradition of passing down the contract will end with me.
Even the gods of old struggle to achieve true immortality. First you want to save others, then you want to save yourself. Now you even want to save me.
But isn't wanting to have it all what makes us human? For a selfish moth like me, who's afraid of the flame yet yearns for the light. The only path forward is up towards the moon.
Huh. For once, Paimon just does not know what to say.
Dr. Baiju, Traveler, what are you still chatting?
We also have coconut milk for Changsheng and Paimon.
Okay, fine. Let's go grab some food. Paimon has a bunch of burning questions, but they can wait till after we've eaten. I do envy Paimon sometimes.
True. And yet, although we call them simple pleasures, are such things as these not precisely why we mortals cling desperately to the life we have?
Live!
Our mission begins.
May knowledge guide you.